Hi, everyone. So, as a disclaimer, this flyer design was created by myself and another graphic designer. We collaborated on two flyer designs just as a cute little challenge where we would swap computers. I would work on her design and then she would work on my design. And we did that in like 7-minute intervals. So, what you'll be seeing here is a mixture of both myself and her creating this design. So some steps you'll see me doing, I'll try to explain the best way that I can, um, based on what she did, because her way of doing things is a little bit different than how I do things. But we'll get through it. This is going to be a step-by-step tutorial. I've been getting a lot of requests for a slower version of my design process. So here we go. The first thing that we're going to do is create the background color. And then I'm going to also incorporate the bottom banner where the website of the flyer is going to go. The next step is that we're going to incorporate some text. So you'll see me here getting all of my fonts together, and I'm going to create the main text of the flyer. So if you're interested in knowing what font I'm using, this is a font called Savea, and I downloaded this font, I believe, from creativemarket.com. So now what I'm doing is separating the E in the word essence and the W in the word crowned. And I'm going to change those letters to a script font just to provide a little bit more depth to the main text. Now we're going to add in our stock image. I used Midjourney to generate these model images for hair extensions. So I can do another tutorial on how to get realistic stock images as well. But this is the image that we created, and this is what we're going to be using for this flyer. So you'll see that I duplicated the image and I set one of them as the background layer and just enlarged it. And then the second image, I just removed the background from the image, and we're going to use that as our main image for the flyer. Now we're going to take that background image layer and we're going to blur it out. So we're going to go to edit, and then we're going to go to effects and hit blur, and then select whole image and then increase the intensity so that way it intensifies the amount of blur it has. This is all up to preference on how you'd like yours to look. So in this next step is the other designer's process. So she's looking for a glow effect to go onto the flyer. And this is where we differ because I would normally just type in glow and utilize the element that pops up that way. But she ended up using the word blur and found an effect that worked and just lowered the opacity of it. And then you'll see that she took that effect and placed it behind the image of the models. So next, what you'll see that she's doing is placing a texture behind the image as well for the background. And I think this kind of covers up the background image that we first set, so you don't see it as much. But she went to the elements panel, looked up the word silk, and found this texture, and she's just lowering the opacity of that and placing that behind the main image. The next element that she incorporated was a star. So you'll see her go to the elements panel, type in the search star, and select the best one she figured was suitable for the flyer. So now it was time for us to switch computers. So it's back to me, and I wanted to add a fade effect to the model or to the image, so that way you didn't see the lines of demarcation on the image, the main image. Even though the text layer is covering it a bit, you could still see the lines from the models. So I typed in the search bar the word fade and selected that. So making sure that your fade element is behind your text layer and above your main image, you're going to click on edit, go to effects, and then click on duotone. This way you can change the color of the fade effect to match the flyer design color. And you'll see where it says highlights and shadows, and you're just going to click on the dropper and click on the background color, so that way the fade effect can change colors. This is something that you guys ask about often on a lot of my tutorials or speed through tutorials, so that is how I get that effect. So the next element that we're adding is texture, and we just go to the elements panel, type in texture, and I used one of the options there. And you'll see that the texture color is black, so I ended up going in and changing that color to white. And because this is crowned essence, then I figured it would be good to add in a crown element and add that to one of the models. So you'll see me looking for a crown in the elements panel, and once I find that, then I'll just size that to the model's head. And that is pretty much it. We are going to go ahead and add like finishing touches, which you'll see throughout the rest of this video of us adding different text elements on here. But that is the gist of this flyer design. I hope this tutorial helped, and I hope the slowed down process helped you guys understand a few of the techniques that I do a little bit better. Thank you.